All right. So hello, this is Fright Night with Ferocious Fee. I'm Fee. And we have Fuzzy and we have Kaneda. And we will have Crazy Louie. He should be stopping in very shortly. So you want to take it, Fuzzy?
Oh, yeah. Just to let everybody know, traffic, it happens. Lou will be here soon, but yeah, for the most part, let's start with introductions.
Well,
Kaneda,
I wasn't gonna put him out like that, but whatever.
he 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 always a lot of times he'll find his way into precarious situations. So whether it's traffic, or possessed paintings behind him or something along those lines.
Those are my favorite.
Yeah, he has one of those where it's like Lady in Red or something like that. And I think ever since he's put that painting in his room, he's had issues with the lights. Sometimes his internet doesn't work, and
Nice.
they're like, just get the painting out of there. He's like, no, it's like from a family member's house, and they didn't want it anymore. And I'm like, there's probably a reason why they didn't want it, but I'm pretty sure
Exactly.
he'll get into it when he gets here. But let's start with the intros. Kaneda, how have you
Yes.
been? What have you been up to? Let everybody know that's here today.
Wow. What have I been up to? I watched the movie that we're going to be going over today. It's about my favorite food group, milk and cereal. And I've been playing, which I know you're going to love this, but I've been playing the new Star Wars Outlaws game. I was very graciously sent a copy by Ubisoft. Mine got lost in translation when they were sending them out early, but that's okay. It happens. It's not the end of the world. But man, I am digging the hell out of that game.
Nice.
I love it. It's fun. I didn't really honestly know or realize that I needed to play a Star Wars game where I was not a Jedi or Force sensitive character. I think that's awesome. I like the new character. I think she's pretty great. I love the world that they've built there. The story that they're crafting it's really, really cool. Yeah, I'm just having a blast playing that, and also a little bit of the Call of Duty Black Ops 6 beta. I've been playing that as well with some friends.
Nice.
I don't think that I love the new movement system. I think it's going to get kind of annoying, but once people figure out how to spam it, it's going to get ugly.
The shields or the omni movement aspect?
The omni movement. Now, the shields are already in the other games, and I hate those already. And the people that run around with those and a knife or a melee weapon, you're scumbags and you suck at the game. Maybe fucking hang up the controller because you suck. Sorry. I just went off there for a moment because I really hate those people.
Yeah.
They're so annoying.
Yeah.
But other than that, that's all I've been doing. I'm going to probably start watching the marathon that Joe Bob did last week for the finale of The Last Drive and all 6 movies. That's I'm not going to do it all at once because I'm too old for that stuff now. But yeah, that's basically what I've been up to.
Awesome. Well, so glad you're here with us today.
Yeah.
Let everybody know what you've been up to as of recent.
So we started getting the kids back for school. So it's been very interesting. We changed to a new schedule where I get my kids every other day, except for my upperclassmen. I get them still every day for like half the year. And this system is really weird because I have less than 50 students for the whole year when I average about closer to 100 for the whole year. So I have one student per day in one of my classes, and this kid's getting a lot of sleep and a lot of downtime because he done quick.
Must be nice.
It must be nice. So they're probably going to change it up and probably readjust the schedule. Hopefully I get more chemistry students because as a spec ed teacher, a spec ed student should not be going to a general ed teacher without any supports. And unfortunately, that's the situation we're in. And I'm waiting for them angry parent calls. I'm just waiting.
Yeah.
So, besides that, I started a nail tech program because I'm trying to actually bring in a pathway. Because in Delaware, you have pathways when you're in high school. Things that could go where you can go into a career or you can get a preview of like a college, um, curriculum and stuff like that. And I wanted to bring in a nail tech because in Delaware, it's very hard to get into a nail tech program because a lot of them are closing.
Okay.
So bringing it to the high school would be great. But the thing is, it's exhausting going from work and getting up around 5:30, and then going to the school and then not getting out until 9:30. So it's
Mm.
3 days a week, back to back, is exhausting.
Mm.
And I know Fuzzy doesn't like it.
Yeah, it's
You coming
I
home?
can tell it's wearing you down, but
Uh-huh.
you'll push through.
I know, but you're like, when you coming home? When you spending time with me? I think he's bored.
Mm.
I
I'm
mean, if
fine.
only he played video games and could fill his time with those.
Exactly. It's that hand injury. That's what's slowing him down.
Oh, did you hurt your
Mm.
hand?
It's from an auto accident a few years back. They decided instead of a hard cast to put it in a soft cast, despite my concerns. And guess what? After 8 weeks, it still wasn't healed. So it's been a nightmare ever since. Some misaligned bones that they're like, oh yeah, we can cut them and no, you're not going in there cutting, breaking nothing. It's what's done is done kind of thing at this point. But yeah, of course, being right hand dominant and it being my right hand, yeah, it's not the greatest of things, but it is what it is. Part of my early retirement send off, I guess you could say to some extent. But yeah, whatever you do, tell your kids not to look at their phones while driving.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the kid that hit me square in the driver's side front wheel after crossing the double yellow. So it's like, luckily for him, I wasn't driving my F-150 anymore. I was driving my Jeep, which had less than 500 miles, and yeah, was not very happy. But luckily, insurance replaced it. They offered me some sort of
buyout.
Do you want the free replacement or like I guess it's something like a replacement policy where they get you the exact same vehicle kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it was like a $25 thing. And I was like, oh, 25 a month more? And they're like, no, it's just a one-time fee. It's the best $25 I ever spent. And so, yeah. But unfortunately, that kid's insurance didn't cover the vehicle. So I'm pretty sure my insurance company went after him and his parents. But so be's life. But yeah, just tell your kids, don't look at their phones while driving. It's probably the worst decision they can ever make. But like I said, if I had been driving my F-150, which I got rid of like a week prior, I think the situation would be a lot worse for that kid. So luckily he didn't have a 5,000 pound or plus vehicle to run into kind of thing. But all of that aside, oh, I'm sorry. What?
Oh, also tell your doctor when you break something, don't put a soft cast on. Don't put a you can take it off type cast on. Because I told the doctor, I was like, "Are you sure it's a good idea?" He's like, "Yeah, he'll be fine. He'll be fine." I'm like, "I don't think you know him."
No, but
yeah, he was taking off for a shower. 3 hours later, he still had it off. I'm like, I don't think that's what the doctor meant.
I didn't have it off that often. It was just for when in the shower, it's not going in the shower, but the rest of the time it was on. Just it wasn't a good idea to begin with. Like
no,
I was happier when they put the hard cast later, but that's it's a time for another or a story for another time.
Yeah.
No, but as far as what I've been doing, been playing some video games. Revisited some older ones. Like, just figured I'd get some achievements in Quantum Break. Haven't touched that in a while. It's a good sci-fi time traveling kind of game. So if you're into time travel or those types of like, you know, sci-fi or fiction type things, it's a pretty good game to give a go. Also playing Mafia, which it's
So good.
the definitive edition. I mean, it's like playing in the movie. It is so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
I almost wish you could go a little bit further on some of the things you could do in there, but I'm pretty sure when they do their next release, which they made a recent announcement that they're going to do another one called Old Country, I believe, where it's going to start in Sicily, so you get even more of the lore and the history of the family and the situation as far as prior to them coming to the U.S. and how the organization worked and how the ties between like the made men and whatnot and what's off limits and what's what you can do and not do. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to that one. But yeah, Mafia has been a ton of fun. Always playing my racing games, still playing GT7, still playing Forza Horizon 5. Finally got my Lucid Air Sapphire, which if I hit the lotto one of these days will be the car that I drive on a daily type of thing. But yeah, it's as fast in the game as I guess it is in real life in comparison, even without doing mods to it. So awesome game car to tool around in. But other than that, watch this movie that we're going to be discussing, and boy oh boy, definite improvement over last week's picture. But aside
I
from
disagree.
no, but it's going to definitely make for an interesting topic today. But man, oh man, so glad to be here with you guys. Let's get into the discussion. Fee, why don't you lead us on that?
So we viewed Milk and Cereal. So there is a filmmaker, a young filmmaker that puts his movies on YouTube. They are borderline shorts. I mean, a lot of them are like in the range of an hour. So it's kind of almost to that full length feature, because I've seen full length features as low as like 100. Well, sorry, an hour and 10 minutes. So yeah, he made this particular one for $800. So I'm sure his friends didn't get paid; they just got the IMDb credit, which is great. I mean, that's worth its weight in gold when you're just starting out. But this particular one, he did. I think he's getting better. I've seen some of his earlier work, and I think this one was definitely more put together. I think he used specific techniques that motivated, kind of continued the flow in a nice way. I just a couple of quirks here and there in reference to predictability. But otherwise, I thought it was good. So why don't we kind of open up with kind of like our beginning thoughts of it? So Kaneda, what was your beginning thoughts of this?
My opening thoughts, I guess, are the overall, or do you mean just like when I first started watching it?
Yeah, just overall, what are your thoughts about this? And then you can maybe give some details a little bit.
I thought it was pretty good. I didn't. I have nothing but the utmost love and respect for people who are fans of film and they go out there and they just take the bull by the horns and they make their own thing. I think that's phenomenal. I love that. I think they did a really great job. I mean, $800 is a hell of a budget to stay within. I think they did a fantastic job with that. There were actually some pretty good shots in there. I thought that they had, and some of the Foley editing was decently done as well. So I don't know. All in all, I'd say it was like for an $800 effort. I'd say that's. I mean, I don't think I could do any better. I don't think I could do better with, you know, $500,000, to be honest with you. So I mean, props to them for doing something pretty remarkable, I think.
What about you, Fuzzy?
For me, my overall thoughts were I was one hoping that this wasn't like a prank film that you'd pick, but
You're never going to let me live that down, are you?
No, but shortly after this thing started, I could tell that this was a much better like positioned film as far as they weren't going for any comedic or any satire or anything along those lines. It was, you know, a traditional found footage film. Characters felt believable. Loved the setting, and knowing that it was on a shoestring budget, to me, just elevates it a little bit more, considering how well it was kind of put together. Like overall, I liked the characters, although there were some parts where it's like, I could feel myself getting mad. Like, why is nobody calling the cops? Like, but we'll get into that a little bit later. But overall, I just like that this was something that felt like that lightning in a bottle, almost like, I wouldn't say like the Blair Witch Project, but kind of along those lines, where you get this found footage, you're watching the characters interact and just enjoying the story as it goes along, and you feel bad for some of them not so much, but yeah, I enjoyed myself watching this film. It was well put together, shoestring budget. It punched well above that shoestring budget. I'll put it that way.
Oh,
Sure.
okay. Hold on 1 second. Louis is here.
Yes, I'm finally here. Oh my god! What's up, everyone? Sorry for being so late. Traffic was horrible. I left from work at 4 and got here like now. I'm like, what the heck? But I'm here. Happy to be here. Thank you all for inviting me. Let's have some fun.
Thank you for joining us, Louis. Yeah. Fee, go ahead and reiterate the question for Louis.
Okay, so with milk and cereal, so what were your initial thoughts when you were watching it?
Wow. I mean, when I sat down and I started watching, it was like, okay, what? Like, I put it on the first. I like when Fuzzy told me to go watch this. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go watch this. So I turn it on. I'm like, okay, this looks like just. I thought it was like a documentary or something, because that's what it felt like, a documentary of a guy just talking and everything. But when the story builds up, right, I'm like, oh, okay, this is interesting. It's awesome. It's interesting. I mean, let me keep on going. Let me see what's gonna happen. And along the lines, though, right, it felt like a Fuzzy was saying, a Blair Witch type of situation. And I was like, wow, this is actually a well-put film. Well-put film. Now, there was some areas where I was like, oh, like, what the heck is going on? Okay, it's all about these two guys pranking and all this stuff. I'm like, okay, cool. But, like, it started to, like, feel weird. Like, all of a sudden, like, all these, like, how Fuzzy was saying, they didn't call the cops. Like, I'm like, okay. Like, the time where the police came by and he was, like, a little bit edgy. I was like, what? That was just random. But then, like, oh, yeah, I was parked in a handicap spot. I'm like, oh, okay, I see now. Now I see what the ticket was all about. But, yeah. But to be honest, though, they did a pretty good job with it. It was a pretty fun film. It wasn't boring. Like, it keeps you entertained for what it was.
Okay.
Nice.
So, so the individual that made this, Curry Barker, young guy and everything. So his character is Milk. Yeah, and he's the one who originally gets pranked.
Yeah.
And at the same time he's getting pranked, he is setting up a prank for his buddy. Mm-hmm. So where did you guys see this going as soon as you kind of found that out?
I saw it going exactly where it went.
So you felt it was a little predictable.
Yeah, but that's not a slight against the movie. I've seen enough. When you've seen enough movies, you get a pretty good idea what's going on, right? Yeah. So for me, I mean, like, I knew where it was gonna go. I was pretty comfortable with my thoughts of what was going to happen and how it was going to shake out, and it basically went the exact way I thought it would. Well, not exactly, but close enough that I felt kind of like vindicated. Where I sat back, I'm like, I'm good. But no, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it being predictable as long as they present it in an entertaining fashion.
Mm-hmm.
And like for me, when I heard that the character was named Milk, I started like to connect some dots because I was like, wait a minute, is this Whitey from Me, Myself, and Irene? This is like Whitey's Revenge or something? Because I know like seriously, I was like, it kind of looks like Whitey though from Me, Myself, and Irene. And so and I remember from Me, Myself, and Irene, like Whitey was kind of like he was like a revenge killer, like he killed his mom and his father to scare people off. So it's like, I bet you this guy is kind of like him. And yeah, I mean, it was predictable right there. After I met the character.
Yeah, for me, like prior to seeing that he was pranking his buddies and things like that, I'm like, why are you letting some old guy just like hang out or sit in your house kind of thing? And it obviously it makes more sense when you realize that he's running a prank as well. But prior to that, I'm like, yeah, I don't care how young I am at that point. Like, okay, I'm partying with my friends and some dude bangs on the door talking about, you realize I got kids that got to go to school tomorrow. And then he just like storms in.
Yeah.
Like, no, that dude, you're getting punched or we're calling the cops. Something else is going to happen before you start taking a seat or I wake up and you're sitting downstairs kind of thing. But yeah, that after seeing that he was running the prank, it's like, oh boy, okay, so who's going to outdo who? And you started to see where he was going to take it, and why he was kind of spiteful to some extent. All for the YouTube clicks and whatnot type of deal. But yeah, it predictable, yes, but interesting on how they approached it. Like, it's almost like the double cross kind of thing to some extent. But yeah, you feel bad for the older guy because it's like he should have just stuck with his gut, just walked away kind of thing. But he decided to stick it out and let Milk kind of handle, I guess, his end of the bargain and still play around. But yeah, you could tell where this was kind of leading to, and that a certain individual was a little off their rocker, or maybe the first sign was when he made mention about doing something to a cat. I mean, I know there are people out there that hate cats and whatnot, but when you say, yeah, I killed a cat, or it was something not to do, and they're all calm about it. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that was kind of weird because I mean, if I'm in a party, right, Fuzzy? I mean, if we're in a party and we see this happening, somebody in the middle party said, "Well, I killed a cat," and not only that, I mean, what is that like a party question? Like who'd you kill? I was like,
yeah,
what kind of party question? What the hell?
Like, yeah, what was in that tequila at that point?
Exactly.
But yeah,
I mean, I've been to a bunch of parties. We've all been. I had never sat down in a party and someone asked me, "What did you kill when you were young?" Huh? I mean, first time you asked me that question, I get out the door. I said, "Well, I mean, I'm out. I don't want to know. This is getting weird. I'm out." I mean, what am I doing? What kind of party
is this?
It's like I may have squashed a bug here and there, but yeah, this is my buzz is coming off here. Let me head home or something kind of thing before I'm the next one on somebody's next party question list kind of thing. So yeah, it that part was definitely strange, but gives you some insight, I guess, to the character itself, and I don't know, it made it a little more interesting at that point.
So we can tell from the title that they didn't misspell cereal.
Mm-hmm.
It is a play on words. We get that, but was it the cat incident that kind of clicked in your head that one of them was crazy, or was there something before, or was there something after? Because obviously, I don't think people missed the cat thing.
Yeah.
So was there anything beforehand that would have ticked us off in reference to
The title.
why it was cereal?
The title did. Like, I was just like, okay, so somebody's a serial killer
Mhm.
of some sort. Okay, good. I got it.
Yeah.
And this is how it's going to go. That's pretty much how I picked up on it. Nothing
Well, I meant
fancy
as
for
far
me.
as who was the cereal.
Oh, I figured it was as soon as the guy said the comment about the cat, I was like,
Not the cat. Okay.
this guy. I'm pretty sure Jeffrey Dahmer used to do that to animals, right? So
Mhm.
Yeah, he did do that to animals. Yeah.
so I would say that would probably be like the aha moment, if you will.
Yeah, right then and there. Yeah, I'm on. But just looking at him, I was like, from the very beginning, I was like, okay, let's figure out who the weirdo is right here, because I know it was all about a serial, right? Serial killer.
Mhm.
So yeah, once they said, oh, this is milk or something, and milk, I was like, oh, so that's the movie from Milk and Cereal. So right then, I was like, yeah. And then, like I said, I connected the dots. It's Whitey from Me, Myself, and Irene going on a revenge spree. This is Whitey's story, but no parents were dead though. So damn, it wasn't.
Yeah, I just thought it was kind of funny that it's usually always the character that seems weird.
Yep.
And it's his birthday, and this guy, his best friend or his roommate or whatever is bringing over another guy and stuff like that he doesn't know. Usually if it's a roommate situation and they've been friends for a while, even a strange person wouldn't tick the other one off because they're young. It's kind of normal for them to have friends go in and out of each other's lives. So that kind of ticked me off that he was a little weirder compared to the one that was pulling the prank. And also the fact that he's pulling the prank with his other friends. So that's a normal practical thing kids would, well, they're kids to me. Kids would do is they would get other people to do things with them and include them in the situation, and Milk wasn't doing that. He was doing it off on his own in isolation. So that kind of ticked me off a little bit about maybe he was the one that in particular that was off his rocker, as Fuzzy says.
What I like about this movie is how he pretty much introduced himself like the killer, right? I mean, that was pretty cool on how he did that. For me, it was pretty awesome. Like, for example, okay, the cat situation. It's like, okay, he mentioned a cat. Let's see how nutty this guy is. And then when you go down the movie, right? When you keep on going, right? He starts mentioning that he was he starts mentioning Jeffrey Dahmer, he starts mentioning the Tim Bundy, and like this is the perfect clan. I mean, this is fantastic, and everything. Now, what he did not figure out was that pretty much like his buddy was pretty much like in a mental lockdown. It was driving him insane, and that was his big mistake from leaving the buddy just to think too much. Because I mean, the guy even grabbed the gun. I mean, he loaded the gun, and I think he already had planned like how to end. Because I knew the movie was gonna end just like that. I knew it was gonna end just like that right away because I said, well, he has the loaded gun. I know what's gonna happen. He's gonna do this and then that. That's how that's how I pretty much predicted the ending. I was like, this guy's gonna snap it. He's gonna do what he's gonna do.
So I know we're kind of jumping a little bit towards the end, and I don't want to give that exactly, but his little quirk at the end, his little realization at the end. Do you guys think that was kind of ironic, kind of funny a little bit? Little part about his buddy and his buddy's name.
I
Y'all
didn't.
caught that, right?
I'm not sure if I did or not.
So remember what his name was? What's the other character's name? Do you guys remember?
It was seven, right?
It
Seven,
was
right?
seven,
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
It was
right.
seven,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right,
Now,
right.
now, remember his realization at the end and
Yeah.
how giggly he was about that?
Yeah.
So, was that as funny as he thought it was, or was that just kind of okay, I get it.
Well, because 7 was gonna be a sixth victim, I think it was, right? He says 7 was gonna be a
Yeah.
sixth victim, but his sixth victim was Laura. And
Uh-huh.
so he's like, how ironic it is that 7's gonna be my 7. I'm like, okay. I mean, I kind of figured that out too. I think because
Mhm.
like here's the thing about that film, right? Like he didn't explain like too much on things he like he did. It was all about the prank, right? How he set it up,
Mhm.
like drugging and all this stuff. But I
Mhm.
was like, this guy's got to have a few down his pocket because I mean, after you saw the scene, right, when it goes into like the place he had the victims in there, or you
Mhm.
see like there was a piece of brain. I'm like, okay, and then you see like a foot or something. I was like, all right, this guy's a pretty much Jeffrey Dahmer type of guy. He mutilates people, right?
Mhm.
And so I was like, this guy's got to have a couple down. So if the guy's name is 7, then that's got to be is pretty much the 7th victim or something that is working on.
Mhm.
Because the way he worked on 7 was like to drive him insane. Now where he failed was that he let him snap. That's where he failed as the killer.
So I'm just thinking, was it that unique of a twist? Because we had multiple twists in here. You
Yeah.
had
Yeah.
prank in the prank,
Mhm.
and then you had the prank go wrong, but it wasn't going wrong, it was going according to plan. But then you had the twist of the cop coming in, which I was a little annoyed with because if you're complaining about the smell, wouldn't the cop have smelled it?
Mhm.
You would
Maybe.
think.
You would think, right?
Oh, well, maybe, but like, how long did they have the body for? Because like, I don't think that it would be so strong
Yeah.
in the trunk that it's going to make its way out to the cop, even through if the doors are or the windows are open in the car. I don't think it's going to be so strong that it's going to be like hitting them in the face. You know what I mean? I don't know that
Yeah.
it would.
So maybe
Plus the
that was
cop.
just
Well,
I've
maybe
never
that
killed anybody before, so I don't know.
Oh.
Well, I would think the cop like. Well, no, I've never killed anybody either, but I've smelled that death smell one too many times,
yeah.
Yeah.
and if it's within hours as opposed to
Oh.
like a day later kind of thing,
Mhm.
it
Yeah.
probably won't be as noticeable. Although, like a cop is probably thinking, well, this guy's parked in handicap. Maybe it's a skunk that's because every now
Mhm.
and then you'll go to like a shopping center and you might catch wind, or at least out here near the boondocks, I guess you could say, you can catch the smell of like a dead animal or possibly roadkill or something like that. But that's like something that's been out in the road in the summertime, for a week or whatever type of deal.
Mhm.
He may think that, well, if there's a smell, maybe it's not coming from this vehicle. It's just,
Mhm.
oh, it's what's in the air because it's a skunk or a deer or something like that. But
Mm-hmm.
it was only I think a few hours at that point, as opposed to
Yeah.
it being like a day or so later. Like if it was a day later,
Yeah, that was
the
fun.
minute he would have walked up, he would have been like, yeah, okay.
Mm.
He may
Mm.
not have said anything to him to keep him kind of, unaware that he's probably calling for backup. But you would
Well,
probably be
I
like, let me call for backup and then do a search. But a couple
yeah.
of hours, I don't know.
I don't think the blood was realistic. I think there was too much blood for where he was shot. So
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
kind
think there would have been a smell because where he was shot wouldn't have produced that much blood. So
Hmm.
there wouldn't have been a smell. So maybe he was having a hallucination due to the
Mm-hmm.
stress.
That's what I think it
Yeah.
was. I think it was more about them kind of going, they just knowing that what's in the back, and then kind of like getting a little nervous about what's going on and becoming
Mhm.
paranoid.
Hmm.
I think that's I personally think that's where that came from.
what that part with the carpet right there was kind of weird because I mean if there's a guy parked in a handicap spot, right, and like when the cop was coming around and he's noticed that he was kind of edgy, I mean I would have been suspicious and said, you need to step out of the car, let me check if everything's okay. I mean you seem kind of edgy, you need to calm down, stuff like that. But I would have done a search right there all the way. I would have done a search. I mean he was so tense, like that's and you can see when somebody is tense,
Mhm.
something's got to happen. In the cop even noticed it. I'm like, why didn't the cop say, "Hey, come on," Let me
Shift
check what's
change.
going on. Shift, yeah, exactly.
Shift change.
It was weird. It was weird. It was weird. That part was weird, but like the whole beginning, like the whole movie in the beginning, like I was saying though, was kind of weird. Like I said, you go into a party, you have a lot to drink. Hey, what did you kill? I'm out.
Yeah, that's weird.
I'm out. I'm like, okay, have a good day. I don't care how drunk I am. I'm out. Let's talk about this. What the hell? What question is that?
Yeah, that guy should have walked away when he's like, I'm not drugging anybody. I'm not doing it. He should have just walked away.
Oh.
Yeah, he sort of stuck with his gut because, it bit him in the end, kind of thing.
Yeah, but I think if it would have stepped away though, I think Milk will got like a little bit of revenge on him or something. I don't know because Milk was always like eager like to finish his plan, like his battle plan. We gotta finish this. I mean, chill. I mean, it's okay. I'll drug him, no problem. I mean, it's not drugging, it's just medicine, no problem. You know, I'll do what I gotta do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay.
Well, how did Lara fit into that? How do you guys think that? Was she just a happy accident for Milk, or was, she an original target? Or were all of his girlfriends original targets?
Yeah, because he kind of mentioned Jessica in there, right? There was a Jessica in there. That was his fake victim. Because he had like an ear. This is Jessica's ear, and I'm like, who the hell is Jessica? But okay. But the Laura thing, right? Because it seemed like he just targets. He already had the plan. He had it targeted because he even said it when he hopped in the car. Well, I mean, I thought I was gonna skip all this, and stop with all my stuff. But yes, look, I have Laura's jacket, and let me get her like to go bar hopping and everything. And I was like, this is getting kind of, I mean, this man killed a cat. Now he's got the girl's jacket, and then you see how the plan proceeds. And then all of a sudden he gets to her house, trying to get her to go bar hopping, and he got her. I mean, that's the sixth victim right there. It was like pretty much planned.
Yeah, I think he would have, whatever number it would have taken to get to 7 being seventh kind of thing, he would have found somebody else, whether it would have been the guy that would have backed out of the plan and then figure out how to plant it on 7 and then have him freak out about, well, I didn't do this. What do you mean? Well, yeah, you must have got drunk last night and knocked the guy out or something along those lines, and type of thing. So yeah, I think he made his own opportunities to get a certain amount of people beforehand, but his earlier kills, I think, may have just been like a thing of opportunity with him being frustrated about, I guess, 7 and the rest of the crew kind of rejecting his ideas for the prank bros or whatever kind of thing, because it seemed like that was what really ignited his, I won't say his kill streak, but probably woke up his serial tendencies instead of focusing on animals. It's like, oh yeah, you don't think my ideas are good? Okay, I'll show you. And then that's when he went on this spree kind of thing.
But like for the movie title, I was like Milk and cereal. I was like, well, this has got to be about or either milk or this guy get kills with milk or cereal. That's how I saw it. I was like, this is gonna be a good one. Let me go watch it. But it didn't come out like I was going to go into it. Actually, he, like I said, I mean, with that camera and everything, they did a pretty good job and the editing and everything. I'll be honest with you, it was pretty good. Now the plot though, like how you say, that if a guy comes into the apartment, I mean, damn, I mean, could be in the party and everything. This guy just comes up to the door randomly, and this guy just says, I got kids next door. And because that was another weird thing, though, Fuzzy. Mm-hmm. I mean, how long were they living there? I mean, that next door neighbor. I mean, they should have at least seen their next door neighbor. I mean, I don't know if you guys live in an apartment, but I know all my neighbors. I don't know if you guys, and even if you move, you know your neighbors. I mean, at one point in time, you get to see them. And that was another weird one. I mean, how come the other guy didn't see that? That's like, who the heck is that? I mean, I never seen that guy in the building.
I could kind of see them not knowing their neighbors, being a younger crowd. Like, it's weird. Like, I would probably notice, just for the fact that I would notice, like first things I usually notice are cars that are in the parking lot for something like that type of deal. And you're eventually going to see somebody, whether it's, you're leaving early to work and they're leaving around the same time, or when you're getting home from work, they're leaving, or something along those lines. You would probably cross paths. But I've seen, like, in our little cul-de-sac area where it's like mainly townhomes and things like that.
Yeah.
We don't necessarily know all of the neighbors, but you usually keep an eye out for like familiar faces or things like that. But I think some of the younger crowd, and this is no slight to the younger people out there, I think a lot of times they're just focused on their day to day. And it's like, I'm going to mind my business. I'm going to go to work, get my coffee, go, do your 8 hours or whatever, and then come back and, go to sleep kind of thing. I think it's what they used to refer to as like a bedroom community kind of thing. Basically, everybody is there after they come from work and go straight to sleep kind of deal. But that's kind of what I got from it. But yeah, they should have known, like, hey, I don't remember this guy. This guy is unusually, or I don't remember him from this neighborhood kind of thing. But younger crowd.
I know, but at the same time, I'm gonna cut you off. But at the same time, the area didn't really speak to that, though. It was, you saw the apartments and stuff like that. It didn't look like it was an overcrowded area where you would have people trying to ignore each other. I could see them, Seven, questioning, wait a minute, why haven't I ever seen this guy before in the apartment building? Because the apartment building didn't look that big in the first place.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I was just like, everything just what, like, I didn't understand. Like, for example, how Fuzzy said earlier, guy walks into the room, we don't know who the hell it is. I mean, and everybody's just sitting there looking at him. I'm like, do something, hit him. I mean, what when you guys throw a bottle at? I don't know what you guys are doing. They're like, what would happen if that guy points a gun at you? I mean, that literally, I'll be honest with you, right then and there, right after the cat situation and everything, I was like, wait, when I saw this guy, the way he had the hair, I was like, this is a horror movie star. This man's going to grab a knife and start stabbing all of them all over the place. That's what the first thing I thought. Right away, when I saw the guy just walk in the room, I was like, this is going to get bad right now. And then I see, like, he just walks in, like, just goes to the right, goes to the left, and all of a sudden just goes out the door. I'm like, and nobody did nothing. Why?
But I mean, if Seven is doing a prank thing with Milk and the other friends, and he's setting up a prank, why wouldn't he think Milk would be pranking him as well?
Yeah, I mean,
if they originally had something together in reference to pranking, I just don't get that part.
I think he did, though, because he mentioned a lot of times, are you pranking me? Are you doing something to me? And Milk was like, no, I'm being serious. But you're recording though. No, I'm being serious. It's not a prank.
I still wouldn't have believed them.
Oh, no, I wouldn't believe him either. I mean, by the way, but again, like the guy walking in the room, just randomly walking. I mean, listen, if he was like rock hard handsome or something, like, a handsome guy, I would right up, you think, oh, maybe that's Laura or something, or he got him a stripper. But this I mean, this guy is like, what, 60 years old and with an attitude, or 70 years old with an attitude. He walks in there. I'm like, nah, this is not, no. This just doesn't fit in for a party. It's not a party thing.
No, that was probably about the only part I really got mad at the movie, because I'm like, nobody's calling the cops. Like, They all had that teenager in their parents' basement, like, fear in their eyes kind of look. It was almost like they got busted, but they weren't busted by the cops, so no one knew what to do, kind of thing. And I'm like, no, call the cops. Like, first of all, the guy ain't pushing into the apartment. That ain't happening. I guess we're getting into a scuffle or something at the door. But aside from that, it'd be like, call the cops, especially when he shows up like the next morning being down there. I'm like, that would have freaked me out, because like, who let him in? How did he have a key to get in, or how did he get in, type of thing? I'm like, nope. I don't care if you're 70, 80. I don't care. You're Houdini, and I'm calling the cops. You're in my apartment trespassing. They'll be glad that prank gun was only loaded with blanks, because no, nobody's sneaking in the apartment that I didn't invite into the apartment and not expect some sort of consequence kind of thing. But it makes sense with, obviously with Milk's prank against his friend. But yeah, that was about the only part where I'm like getting like flustered, and Fee could probably tell you, I'm like, why aren't they calling the cops? Like,
so let me tell you about this movie. Set him off just that little part, that when we watched another movie afterwards, I gotta tell you about the details later, but it set him off for the second movie.
I don't even remember what the next movie was at this point.
We'll talk about that in a minute, because I want to tell you, I want to make sure everybody knows how much this set you off. But I want to get back to one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Milk's hideaway.
Mm-hmm.
So Milk has a hideaway, and nobody noticed that. Nobody noticed his disappearance for hours at a time. Like, he doesn't have a job somewhere. Like, he has a roommate. How's he footing these bills?
Well, I mean, Jeffrey Dahmer. I don't know if you guys saw the TV series, which was great TV series, and the Netflix one. Did you guys see that?
Oh yeah.
I mean, look at that. I mean, Jeffrey Dahmer had neighbors around him all the time, and there was one lady that actually knew that he was doing something weird. I mean, she was always saying, "There's a smell. There's always a smell." She called the cops and everything, and Jeffrey Dahmer pretty much did his thing in a good way.
But he was in his apartment, though. Jeffrey Dahmer was in his apartment. He had his whole entire apartment, or he would go to the one club. But Milk has totally separate hideout.
Because remember how he sets up things is pretty amazing. Like, for example, look at Laura, right? Is the girl's name Laura? What was the other?
Laura.
I know that's Laura, the one that killed is Laura, but who the other one, the girlfriend one?
What was the other girl's name? I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember either, because that's the thing. There's like no catchy names. You got Milky, you got 7, you got 8, you got 9, then you got Sonic the Hedgehog. I mean, I was like, who these guys are named? I don't know who these guys are. Then you had the
Naomi.
Naomi.
Yeah,
Naomi. There you go, Naomi.
Yeah.
So what happened? This is what he did, though. It was a pretty good thing. Like, for example, Naomi does not know how to cry. I was like, what the hell is going on with Naomi? Just laughing with that part. But the way he did his setup kills was actually pretty smart, because he goes out and everything. Oh yeah, he talks to his friends and everything. And look what he did. He called Laura. He said, Laura, let's go bar hop and let's do this, because everybody's already drunk. Everybody's out, right? So he said, yeah, let's go bar hopping. I mean, Naomi's here in the car. Let's go. So he gets to the house. Oh, yeah, I left the jacket in the car. What? And all of a sudden, grabs her, what did he do? Was it strangle her? I think it was. He strangled her, right?
Yeah.
Or ejected her. Because he had like a sleeping serum, and then he just threw her in the car. And then after that, while everybody's drunk, though, he disappeared and did what he did. He locked her up and then, took his time. And then he went home. And everybody was still kind of out. So yeah, he does a good plan, though. It's not a bad plan. And if he does it like late night, like for example, I'm going out tonight, I got something to do or whatever, goes out. I mean, nobody knows what he's doing because he's out, comes back home late. Doesn't matter if you're his roommate or not. I mean, you wouldn't notice what he's doing.
So Milk is a little justified in the fact that he feels like nobody kind of really thinks of him as a friend, like a, more than just a buddy hanging out with them. Because that's kind of what he gives off, is like, I'm really the outsider of my friend group. So I adore them, but at the same time, I still feel like I'm the cat trying to pick off the mice one at a time. Because 7 was his favorite, but yet he's trying to kill this guy. So you know what I'm saying? So he was just an odd duck from beginning, but he's a little justified in thinking that he's really the odd man out, right? This feeling I got.
But
I mean, go Canada.
No, I think maybe he might have some sort of self-esteem issues. That guy, which is why and you're probably right. He might feel like kind of like a bit of an outsider somehow, even though he's like, he's friends with them, but
Yeah.
maybe he never really. Maybe there's just something that just never quite connected for him, or felt that there was a disconnect with those folks, perhaps. I don't really know. I think that's probably a pretty reasonable thing to assume, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I got a weird vibe from him from get-go. I don't know if it was as much the outsider aspect, but you could tell he was broken up about, I guess, their, Prank Bros channel and the direction it was headed. Like, he seemed like he wanted to contribute as far as the ideas, and they got shot down. So it's almost like that was part of the trigger. I don't know if it was as much about him being the outsider as just being like ignored as far as his ideas and things like that. And I think that's where it kind of all that being bottled up, and that's where he's kind of like, oh, I'll show them. They don't like my ideas. I'll show them by murdering them, or show them, how deep my plans can be, kind of thing. So there was that weirdness there, but with like his secret location, that's something you could probably play off like, oh, I was out work, or oh, I went out for a walk or something like that, because it didn't seem like it was too far away. He had that note in like the little box that the Naomi found and stuff like that, which, by the way, that was a bit weird, where he has like blood vials or whatever stashed under his bed. So that goes to show, I guess, he keeps, a little trinket or prize from each one of his victims, kind of thing.
That's not common.
I mean, serial killers do that all the time. I just thought it was weird that it was blood, though.
Yeah, being that it was blood, and that you would have the address of where it's all
exactly.
Place. It's like
exactly.
How to rat on yourself.
I don't think it's that weird. I don't think it's that weird.
You don't think
the address part?
No.
You have an address part? I mean, on your back? No. I mean, if you're a killer, he wanted
to be caught.
Because they do sometimes leave those clues. It's like, you guys are all idiots. I was right in your face all along.
Right. And he probably somehow deep down didn't really fully enjoy what he was doing. He was doing it because he felt compelled to. And I think that he wanted to be caught, but also he's bragging about the number of people and how he's going to become, like, he's going to be the world's greatest serial killer. So he wants to be found, and he wants the clues to point to all of the victims that he had, so they can have his body count can be high, and he can go down. He can in infamy when he eventually gets caught.
I get that part. I'm sorry, but I don't think he was at the state where he was. I think it was at the start of the deterioration, because I think he was truly happy about what he was doing. I think he really thought he was a genius.
Yeah, I mean, because the way he was talking, the way he was thinking and everything, I mean, he's been planning this for a while. And all of a sudden, when you hear the conversation with him about the cat, and then you start like to connect the dots with him, he's been, I mean, a person that kills a cat he has issues. I mean, he needs psychological help and needs a lot of stuff. I mean, seriously. I was actually expecting him, because after they asked him that question, I was like, I hope they ask him right away, since they brought up that weird question. How did you kill the cat? I mean, that would have been the next question, but since it didn't come up, I'm like, okay, all right, because that would have been the next question. I mean, I don't understand why did that come up in the party again, but that would have been how did you kill the cat? The poor cat.
I don't think he would have necessarily answered it, because even they did try and get details from him, and he kept on trailing off. And not really giving any details, and just kind of smiling, that awkward smile. I don't think he would have originally given, but I think that's what made Naomi and Link try and investigate, because he was starting to act creepy.
Yeah.
And Seven was acting depressed.
No, but after finding that box under his bed, what they were expecting. Oh, it's probably videotapes or his porn collection or something
Yeah.
weird. Oh, wait, no, it's blood vials. It's like, what is this? Am I looking at this right? Does that have Laura's name on it? It's like
Laura's name on it?
I don't know if I would have been of the mindset at that point to not call the cops. Like I get it. You want to go to whatever address that is. They took a picture of it. I guess they were too scared to take the box themselves, and then seeing him coming into the apartment, and they were all nervous of them getting caught, and then Milk was nervous at not really having a good response on what he's doing right now with trash bags and stuff. But
Yeah,
yeah, I think I would have been like, hello, police.
yeah.
I want you to come with me to this address. Our friend's been acting weird, and he has like a box of blood vials, and
Yeah, that was
I'm afraid of what I might see, kind of thing. Kind of deal. Or I want
exactly.
to make sure he doesn't try to off me before I get there, kind of thing, because he's walking around with trash bags right now. So, they had dogs at the apartment. Like, are you scooping up poop or you burying the dog? What's going on that you need that many trash bags or whatever he had? But
Oh
but
my god.
you know what though? I think in hindsight, I think it would have been better, and it would have been more along the theme of found footage if they actually found um
Videos.
drives, no thumb drives.
Oh,
You
thumb
know,
drives. Yeah.
USC kind of thumb drives or something with the people's names on it. I think that would have been more of an ideal kind of trophy because you saw that he was videotaping stuff. You even saw he was on live at one point. So he's probably on some type of dark web website actually showing Laura being beaten by him and strangled and stuff like that. Which I know there's sites out there. I don't go on. I've never been on the dark web, so I don't know what they look like. But
Hmm.
you hear things. But I think that would have been a more ideal trophy for him, and I think that would have been more true to his character than the blood vials.
Yeah, that was another thing. I mean, what type of serial killer was he? Because I mean, you got Dahmer that was a cannibal, right? Okay, we knew it was cannibal. Um, Ted Bundy, he just killed the prostitutes, right, and all that stuff. But what type of serial killer was he? Because okay, he had a brain at one point, he had a foot on the other, but he collected blood vials. So I was like,
Yeah, it's confusing, and
it's
that's what I
confusing.
mean. If it was thumb drives, if it was something like that, I think we could have tied him into this, pranking type situation where it originally started as a prank and it got out of control and he just happened to find it to be, exciting and you know got him into, it being just a state where he was happy. Because remember, that was his happy face. Remember when he put on the doll face mask?
Yeah, it was sacrifice. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he called it, was his happy face mask. But it's the doll face mask. It was just one of the clear ones, kind of like on The Strangers. Remember The Strangers?
Mm-hmm.
They showed up at the couple's house, and the couple was like, "Why are you doing this?" And they're like, "Oh, well, you were home," kind of situation. So yeah, I just thought the whole thumb drive would have been a better trophy for him, and like you said, it would have defined him a little bit better as a serial killer because it would have been him videotaping everything for later to see.
Yeah, it
Because I
would
don't
make
know
sense with
what
him trying to upload it or something somewhere.
yeah, because I don't know how that would satisfy him to kind of look at blood vials. I don't get it. I
Yeah,
think that
that's I'm with you there. That's the part where I just didn't understand blood vials. Why blood vials? I mean, I'm trying to.
yeah.
That's the part. Like I said, we don't know what type of syrup. What did he have it for? To drink
Hmm.
them or something? I mean, did he take pleasure with drinking the blood? Was he like a vampire type of killer? I mean,
And
it was weird.
yeah, I mean, even his hideaway, his place that he would do this at, I mean, it didn't scream blood all over the place. Even his technique was not, let me cut them or let me, drain their blood or whatever. It was, basically just violence, just hit them, choke them type situation. So I'm just like, I don't see the tie-in like you, Louis. I just don't see the tie-in.
Well, he did draw blood on some of them, like the son of the actor, or the older guy, the old creepy guy. The way he stabbed him and just let him like bleed out, pretty much, kind of thing.
I mean,
That made
yeah,
a mess. And then
that made a mess. Yeah.
he bashed the other girl's head with a brick or like a cinder block or something like that. So although that was probably the weakest point as far as like what we kind of expect from a serial killer, but overall it's still a trophy, which is like the going norm, I guess, for a lot of them out there.
Oh yeah,
It's just a matter
all
of
of them.
it's just a matter of like I think if I was Naomi or the other guy, I definitely would have been like, yeah, this is creeping me out. Let's call the cops. Oh, wait, he's home. Let me hurry up and take a picture of the address. Definitely, send the police up there. Don't because I'd be afraid of what I would find. I don't
exactly.
know.
Like let's go there. Let's see what's going on. I mean, we gotta find what's going on. I'm like, what? You gotta find out no shit. You gotta call damn cops. That's what you do. I mean, a normal person would do that. A common person would do that. I mean, why?
Yeah.
What am I who? Super cop or Jackie Chan or something? Let me go in there and do something. No, call the cops. Say, hey, something going on here. You better check it out because man, I found some blood vials. I mean, seriously, you're trying to figure out what's. Not only that, the man even had an address on there. Call the cops. Say, cops, look, this is what I found. This is my roommate. I found a box. Let's see what else we can find and let the police do the investigation. They probably, they probably know they will figure it out and find some information in his room because pretty much the man had everything in his room. Because that was another thing, though. You're a serial killer, right? I mean, why would you have your stuff in your room? If you have a place, have it in that place. Then have it in your room. That's the part. Also, I was like, what the hell is he doing? Why would I take this home?
I think if there was. I think it was longer than an hour and 2 minutes, including credits. If it was longer, that could have been better defined.
Yeah.
So I think that is where this misses a little bit, is that the time could have been a little bit longer to put in those details so that we weren't questioning what is kind of going on with him.
Yeah, like, he also should have showed like there should have been like more about the other 5 victims because we're like, who were the other? We just saw Jessica the ear, and we saw Brain. I think that was Bobby, and the other foot is I don't know whose. I mean, I'm like, okay, this is just it needs like some backstory to it to be better.
Yeah, I mean, we saw what would have been 5. So if he's talking about 7 would have been the 7th, then what were the other 2? Because you can't include the cat. If you want to call yourself a serial killer, you can't include the cat. That's like pre-serial killer stuff. It's like alert stuff.
Unless it was going to be the other friends or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe Naomi and the other one were a target as well, just not at that point in time.
Oh no! He said that 7 was about to be his 7th, so he did kill 6 other people prior to that, and it wasn't the crazy guy that he killed because 7 killed that guy.
Yeah, that's true.
So he wasn't taking credit for even him. So who were the other 2? We know Jessica, Laura, who else was it?
The son.
The son
of the old guy, but
of the old guy. Yeah, like who were these other individuals?
Yeah, the other 3 were prior to the movie, so that gives them a perfect opportunity for a prequel.
Yeah, maybe that's where the details can be, is defining and he is deteriorating, he's falling apart, and that's why he's collecting blood vials instead of maybe he originally was doing, thumb drives and stuff like that. And he just really went off his rocker towards the end. So, but yeah, let me get to what happened after we watched this movie.
Okay.
So I was like, hey, because I want to keep Fuzzy downstairs with me. Instead of him going up and playing video games and things like that. So I decided to put on a zombie movie. So I put on Doghouse. Anybody seen Doghouse?
Doghouse.
One word, Doghouse.
I'm not sure that I have.
All right. Well, it's one of those kind of hard to find ones. So you either have to have, like, you're on Amazon, you have to have a subscription. So I think it's on, can't remember if it's IFC. I think it's on if you have that kind of add-on subscription. So Doghouse is a zombie movie. It's British. The guys, some of the guys are just, male chauvinists. They're impossible with women. Some are on the outs with their women. So they decide they're going to go on a trip because one of them's getting divorced. So they want to show them a good time. So they go to this city or this town or whatever that is predominantly female. There's some guys there, but majority of it is females. So they think they're going to get this guy, So they get there and they apparently find out that, oh yeah, these women are there. It's just that they've been experimented on and now they're zombies.
I want to watch this.
Yes, but like I said, it's a very good one, okay? So, but I want to tell you about Fuzzy, okay? So Fuzzy decides that, there's those tropes in there where it's like, the character should be doing one thing, but you know that they're not going to do it because otherwise the plot is going to end, like, it's going to be a short plot. It's going to end the movie real quick. So to drag this process out, Fuzzy got to the point where he was listing everybody that he was going to slap in this movie.
I mean, it gets, well, see, there's some silly things I can see happening, but it's like, all right, we got to go. We got to get on the bus, get out of here.
The bus is right there.
Yeah, the bus is right there. There's just one zombie chick in there. Get her out of there, and we get the bus and go. But no, they got to go all around.
Did you just see a zombie chicken or a zombie chick?
A zombie chick, or a lady, the woman that drove them there.
Okay,
basically turned as well. So I guess there's something either in the air or something that only affects women in that region. But yeah, it's like the plan is simple. Just go to the bus, lure her out of the bus, and then get in the bus and go. No, exactly. They're like messing around and all. It's like there would just be a whole bunch of people getting slapped. It's like, nope, don't bother going back to the store to get a different, outfit. Like some of them decided that, the cool thing would be to dress up as women to sneak past some of the zombie women, which, okay, I'll give it to you. That worked, whatever. Then if that's going to work, make sure you all have women's outfits on or something silly. But at some point they find this like remote control that allows them to basically freeze the women in their place kind of thing. So they're non-harmful. It's almost like some sort of audio thing that like scrambles their brains so they're stuck where they're at. Yeah. And they're up there playing around with it. Like, push the button. Don't push the button. No, let's get out of here. It may be funny to push the button, but no. And then he tosses it to one of the guys. And I'm like, this is where he screws up. You could tell he, like, unless you guys were on a football team or, well, I guess they would be rugby team or something like that. And that they're good at catching. Don't know something that valuable, something that important. Don't toss it. Like, hand it, put it in their hand if they're going to play with it. Don't just.
But the whole point was, Fuzzy, is that they were arrogant. That was set up in the very beginning of the movie. That most of these men were just arrogant, showy, chauvinistic males.
But a lot of us that might be that aren't that dumb. Like, if you know.
Let me try to
Joe in the group can't catch. Don't throw the Joe. He's going to just drop it. It's going to break, and we're all going to have a bad day. No, I'm sorry. Mm-mm.
I mean, like Fuzzy said, get the lady out, jump back on the bus, and go. I mean, what? I mean, I don't understand. That's the thing about horror movies. Okay, why you always gotta be curious? Stop being curious. I mean, there's no point for being curious. I mean, you gotta be real stupid. Common sense, call 911. Who are you trying to be? Who, Arnie or something? Think you're John Rambo? I mean, oh man, Fuzzy, you can't watch that alive then. Don't watch that alive because you're gonna be really mad with that alive.
I haven't.
I don't know if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, I have not made him sit and watch it. He has seen parts of it when I've watched it, but he hasn't seen it fully yet.
Oh my God, Fuzzy. That was what's his name? The guy who did Alien, I think it was. Yes, a film that he made. And Fuzzy, listen, when you watch that movie, I know what mindset you're gonna have. Get ready, because this one had done decisions. That one has the worst decisions of all time. You're gonna be pissed off throughout the whole movie.
I mean, it can be fun when they make these bad decisions, but this is why when I go to the movies, I want the theater empty because I don't want other people yelling at the screen because I might yell at the screen. Well, typically I don't yell at the screen. I'll just clench my fist like, no, don't do that. Don't go downstairs. You heard the sound. Get in the car and go. Like
exactly, Fuzzy. You wouldn't be a guy that will go to an actual haunted house if somebody said, "Let's go." You wouldn't be that guy.
I've gone to haunted houses.
But real ones, like not the ones that that they put people come out scare you. No. I'm talking a real one.
I've gone to a real one in the past. One of these days, I'll talk about me and my family's extra sensory perception stuff. So it's weird for me because I can sense things in those regards, and it's like I don't freak out, but it's like, all right, I see what everybody's talking about. I'm gonna go now.
Okay. Once you figure out you're out, you say, okay, I'm out. You don't stay there like, let me use a spirit box or a camera. Let me see if I can catch footage or see if I can meet the demon in the house.
No. I can usually sense them or they make their presence known, and that's good enough. It's like, okay, I'm good.
Yeah. Okay. Goodbye. I understand. No, I have present some stuff too in life. I mean, oh my God. I mean, I have learned a lot of stuff because me, like for example, I love horror movies. I'm like you guys. I sit down and watch a shit ton of horror movies alone. Like one of my favorites is The Thing, and others. I mean, I'm a big Jason Voorhees fans and all that stuff. But like one night in my own house, right? It was weird because in my own house, my own apartment where I used to live, there was suitcases in the closet, and they were really nicely stacked. Nobody has ever moved them or anything. Nothing. They were really nicely stacked and everything. I was watching Paranormal Activity 2. It was really late, Fuzzy. I mean, it was like 2 to 3 a.m., something like that. And all of a sudden, Fuzzy, me watching the movie, I see one suitcase down, then another suitcase starts to drop, and then a third one that's far away from the other suitcase starts to drop. I said, okay, let me get up. Let me get out the room. Let me go outside. And so like after 10 minutes of me going outside after that, I was jumpy. I went in and said, okay, whatever the hell is in here, I got to tell you something. I'm tired. I'm going to bed. So the hell with you. Do whatever you want. I'm sleepy. And nothing ever happened ever again. So that was a weird situation.
Called it off.
Yeah. And I also saw a little girl ghost, and that's the story, it's my God, no. Now that one really Fuzzy. That one really sent shivers. That one sent me shivers down the spine. I thought I was like, no, but wait, I'm not drinking. What the hell is going on? I haven't been drinking. I mean, I saw this hand and this eye looking at me from the corner, and I thought I was like hallucinating or something. But I was like, no, but this is weird. I haven't drank anything or nothing. Well, I just what did I do? Nothing. Yeah. So seriously, when I go around the corner, I see there was nothing. I was like, oh crap, I saw something. All I know is that shiver went down my spine. And then after a while, like a couple years later, my father told me something that the person he had there used to clean the house and everything. She was from Haiti,
Mhm.
and she used to do voodoo on that house. A lot of times he got home, he even showed me pictures of the stuff she did in the house. I'm like, oh crap! Now I
Mhm.
figured out. So what I saw was actually true. There was something in that house.
Mhm.
I was scary stuff, man. Scary stuff.
The stuff that makes the hair stand up on the back of your neck, kind of stuff.
I have never been so much scared than that, Fuzzy. Never. I'm not like the guy that gets scared. Like I said, I watch all for The Exorcist. I fell asleep. Now you know how I am. I fell asleep watching The Exorcist. But that day,
Blasphemy.
I started to respect whatever the heck that I said. Okay, I gotta respect this. No more joking around with this. I know this stuff is real. And
Yeah.
man, after that, now I sit down and watch those horror movies. I'm like, yeah, it reminds me of that day when I saw this. Oh my god! I mean, I'm getting goosebumps right now thinking about it. I am.
Now, quick question, quick aside. Do you have the painting of the lady in
Oh
that? Are
yes,
you
I
in
do.
that
Of
room?
course.
Okay.
Let me. Okay, you want to see it? All right, there you go. There you go. There's a painting of the lovely lady. Want to like that? I can send it to you.
No, no, no.
I can send you that painting, man. I'm looking for somebody to keep it. I can send it to you.
No, no.
It's right
We've
there.
had our internet and power go out at various times. I don't need a painting that might contribute to that.
No,
But
she won't do nothing. She's a nice lady. I mean, once in a while you hear like the door move or something. That's it. But nothing wrong with her door slam. It's okay. She's cool. No problem. I mean, I ain't no friend of that. She's cool. Every
Mm,
morning I come in, I say good morning to her. I say, how did you sleep? How was your night? I talk to her. She doesn't get mad or anything. I'm
yeah.
polite to her. But Silent Cypher did some research, and she's supposed to be a lady who used to do mean stuff back in the. I don't know. I gotta research. I gotta ask Silent. He has it on the cell phone. I gotta ask him about the story again about that lady. But yeah, he kind of looked deep into it, and she does look like she did something back in the day. She looks like, yeah, come here, I'm gonna slaughter your head or something type of lady thing. Yes, she does. But yeah, but
Off
don't
with
worry,
their
Fuzzy.
heads.
I'll ship it to you. No worries. I'll pack it
No,
up real
no.
nice. Yeah, no worries. You
No,
put it in
no,
a nice
no.
tray, you put it in your room, looking at you. Oh man. That's a cool picture, that'll be honest. That's a cool picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is, it is. The painting.
All right.
Oh
Now,
man.
now with time winding down, do you want to have everybody? Fee, do you want to have everybody do like their final thoughts on the movie and whatnot?
Yeah. So who wants to go first? What are your final thoughts? Good, bad, what?
I'll go. I thought it was pretty good. Like I said, anybody who can, take a passion of theirs and put a little money where the mouth is, which, like, legitimately, they put just a little bit of money there and put out something that had was watchable and was a really good crack at it. I think they did an admirable job, and I would probably check out something else that they did, another project. I think, yeah, that's the best I can say. I mean, it's only an hour, a little over an hour long. It's not real difficult to watch. It's probably worth your time to check it out if you're looking for something a little, not necessarily different, but something that you're unfamiliar with, I guess.
Yeah. For me, I mean, I'll be honest with you, it was a fun movie. I mean, it wasn't like the best horror movie, but it kept you keep watching. It's not one of those horror movies you're like, okay, what's going on? Like my thing with horror movies that I dislike a lot these days is I don't understand what horror is for these nowadays. For example, what was the movie with the hand? You probably saw it, Fuzzy. The one where you grab the person's hand and all of a sudden you
Lie to
saw
me. Is it Lie to Me?
it's a
Or
lie
Talk
to
to
me.
Me?
No,
Talk to Me.
it's Talk to Me.
Talk to Me.
Yeah, talk to me. Like everybody was like, "Oh my god, that movie is scary." I'm like, "Y'all watch The Exorcist?" I mean, this ain't scary. I mean, y'all don't understand. Why do you all say this is scary? I also heard good things about Long Legs. I can't wait to watch that one. I don't know if you guys seen Long Legs.
Loved it. I really liked it.
Really? Is it really that intense?
No.
Oh, okay. Oh well, but yeah,
No.
like that horror thing that I talk about, like from scary movies, like but this one, like for example, for being a serial killer and everything, it was very intriguing. I mean, he just kept on going, and the plot was never like boring. Yeah, Though every time when he jump scenes, and everything, you always want to see what's going to happen next scene. You want to see what's going on. Or when he comes back onto the screen talking to himself, breaking like the fourth wall, was it? Talking to the camera, saying, "Yeah, I got to put my face on and talk." I mean, that was pretty a cool. That was a pretty cool thing. How he just kept things going. It was fun. It was fun. And a fun fact, guess what? There's a character in the movie named Link, so I was pretty close to Sonic, though. So yeah, I mean, I just went in there and looked for the characters' names to see who the names are, because seriously, there's just so many people. You got the arm sealer, you got what a good name. Seven Milk, Link, Paul, Jason, and Frank Harris. And that was Frank, that was the son, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty good movie. Pretty good movie. I liked it. It was very entertaining.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed it. Recommend it to those that are looking for either found footage films or just something different, kind of like what Canadian said. For the little budget that they used for this, I think this punches above its weight. It may not be the darling of like a Blair Witch kind of thing, but I rank it up there. I mean, yeah, there are some parts that it's like it might get you flustered or you're like, oh, why are they being stupid kind of thing. But all in all, the way it played out in the movie, especially looking at what you see on YouTube these days or TikTok with people pranking people, and if something like that were to happen and it all go wrong, where maybe there's a serial killer in the mix, yeah, I could totally see this being something that could wind up happening type of deal. Like you said, only an hour and some minutes. Definitely a good watch for that hour and a few minutes. Keeps your attention, keeps you engaged. And I would look forward to either a prequel or something along those lines that gives a little bit more backstory on, maybe Milk and Seven when they first founded the channel, or Milk's first kill or something like that. So if they ever decide to do something like that, I'll definitely be ready to watch and look forward to it.
That was another thing, though. I mean, he was recording everything he did. I mean, didn't his friends see the other 5 that got killed? That was another thing. I was like, weird. I mean, he does videos and it says subscribe and everything, but
I would think if he was doing it on the dark web, which would be the only safe technical place for him to do it, because otherwise police would have been knocking on his door a lot sooner. I think that's where he was downloading everything. So I don't think his friends would have seen it.
Yeah, I get the impression that as far as any of the other people, like you saw how he made the plan for Frank's father, like, oh yeah, he went to Vegas. The only thing I guess they didn't think of is like the Find My Phone app, which murderers today or serial killers today have it so much harder as far as being able to get around stuff, I guess. But I wonder what his plans would have been for like the first few, where it's like, well, maybe they don't have family members, or hopefully they don't keep the cell phone on or try to text the family, oh yeah, I'm going on vacation. Well, why is the phone like in their apartment still, kind of thing?
Exactly.
So, but definitely recommend. Give it a watch. I would say it's definitely a worthwhile watch. Your thoughts, Fee?
So I picked it. So I of course think it was a good watch. If you want to check out some other things that he's done, his name is Curry Barker. It's CurryBarker. He's done a few shorts, but he's also has some other credits, including one on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. He played Joey in one of the episodes. So, he's done other things, not just what, he's filmed himself. But I mean, I think he's, a rising star kind of, I say give him a chance.
Fuzzy, maybe you should do a movie, in a haunted house. Grab a camera and do a movie, an hour-long thing, going in there in a haunted house, see what happens.
We're doing a zombie movie first. When we do a movie, it's zombie.
Zombie first.
Zombie first.
Oh, zombie first. Nice. I'm into that. Zombies are always a fun thing to watch. Always a fun thing to watch. Love zombie movies.
Yeah.
Especially with the new, what was it, 28 years later, was it? That's coming out?
Yeah. looking forward to that one.
Oh, me too.
Late June 2025.
Yes,
Yeah.
finally, my
And they're
God.
filming the other one already. There's going to be
There's a-
another one right after that one.
What's it gonna be called?
It's
28,000
Uh,
years?
no, I think it's still 28 years later, but there's like
Yeah.
an something extra added to the end of it,
Mhm.
Oh.
Mm.
kind of like Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope type thing.
Yeah.
No,
Maybe
don't
gotta do it in 2 parts. 2 parts is still good. Twilight
no,
did it.
don't end it. Don't end it. I don't want this to end. Keep going. Those movies are so good. Keep going.
There's a
keep
lot.
going.
There's a lot more in that coming, man. A lot more
Yeah.
coming.
A lot more. Oh,
Yeah.
Hope so. That would,
There's 3 for sure, if I'm not mistaken. 3 or 4 coming.
280 years, 2,800 years. Let's just keep on going.
They don't have to keep going to the future. They could actually even do like what was that other one that we just recently watched where it's like the day one.
Oh
something
yeah,
silent.
the prequel.
Yeah, do a prequel.
Yeah.
Isn't World War Z coming up with another one too? I mean, everybody's looking for that one too. I mean, I'm hoping there's a part 2.
That one's still shelved.
Oh.
Unfortunately. It's still kind of shelved.
Oh.
Yeah.
Dang.
If I hear anything, I'll definitely let people know. But that one is still shelved as far as I know.
Mm.
So unless anybody else out there wants to say different and give us some information, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And Fuzzy, go watch Dead Alive, man. You got. I don't know why you have not. That's that's one of the. It's so bad. It's actually a good zombie movie. You gotta watch it. You know what I'm telling you? I want to hear your thoughts about that movie. Seriously.
All right. So we're at that mark where a few of our people have to kind of skedaddle. So we're gonna do some outros, and then I'm gonna finish off with just a little bit about Monster Mania coming up. It's a big one, and why we won't be doing a September 20th show. Let's
Cool.
talk a little bit about that.
But wait, Monster Mania is like a thing you guys go to, and all these actors and everybody goes over there, stuff like that, like kind of like a Comic-Con.
Mhm.
Yeah. So we do the
fun.
Monster Mania convention. They have about 4. They might actually have 5 this cycle, because they have a new venue that's willing to do more than one. So we Fuzzy will be volunteering this one. He's not 100% happy, but he's going to do it because he loves me. But we volunteer for them, so there's some perks in doing that. But it's just really great because you get to be with people that love horror. I think that's the big thing that I like about this. Is because you do get to be around people that constantly will tell you about movies or about things coming up, or why they love horror and what they love, and you get to see all the costumes. It's just great to be in that environment because not everybody can walk around with a knife or blood hanging off of their hair and stuff like that, and everybody's smiling at the same time. So I mean, it might be a little awkward in real life. But yeah, we're doing the October show, but let's do outros and then I'll just give a little bit of details on that.
Right.
All right.
Let's do Canada first.
Sounds good, because I gotta bounce.
Yeah.
You can catch me mostly on Twitter at Xbox Canada, and sometimes I poorly review things on my YouTube channel, Secret HQ Reviews. I have a new review coming out this week for the latest and greatest mouse from Turtle Beach. It should go up on Thursday, and that's about all I got right now.
Thanks. All right, Crazy Louie.
Oh man, thank you for having me on. Sorry I was late. I don't know what the heck happened today, but traffic was insane. It was insane. But guys, thank you for having me on. I really had fun. Watching that movie. It was a fun movie. And man, seriously, this is awesome. I hope this podcast keeps on growing. I mean, I love talking horror. Whenever you guys want me to jump on here, man, I'm down for it. Seriously, I'm down for it.
Good.
Yeah, I'm down for it. I love horror. That's one of the things my wife doesn't like it, but yeah, I wish she did. But thank you guys again. It was really fun. And where can you find me? Crazy Lou Gaming out there on Twitter. Xbox International Podcast, 7 p.m. ET on Wednesdays. Also Xbox Factor Podcast on Tuesdays with Mr. Boomstick. And Good Morning with Crazy Louie. It's been a fun thing, sitting there just hanging out with the chat, just talking video games, talk about what's going on in the news. I just sent out the Louie signal, and that's it. I'm hopping in. Just hopping and enjoy. That's where you can find me.
Awesome. Well, greatly appreciate you joining us today. Always an awesome time talking with you, Crazy Louie, about gaming and now horror as well. So we'll more than likely have you back here fairly soon as well. Maybe for a Dead or Alive review or discussion type of thing, but we'll see.
Anything. I mean, anything horror, I'm down for anything. I mean, I am a huge horror fanatic. I'm born and raised. I mean, I wish I could meet the greatest man out there, Kate Hutter. That's for me the greatest man out there who wore the mask of Jason. I'm his fan. I'm always cheering for him, and he never wins. Damn it. But thanks, guys. Thanks. It was a lot of fun.
Thanks again. All right, Fee, do you have the additional info for Monster Mania?
So, just to highlight one thing before then, so we are going to the Mahoning Drive-In in Carbon County. So we're going to be there on the 20th and 21st for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Evil Dead. You guys can check to see if there's any tickets. There might be, but Camp Blood was definitely sold out, so this might be sold out too. But I would double check if you want to go. Being at a drive-in is still a fun experience, and it's an opportunity to actually see those movies on a big screen because, they're not in theaters anymore. It's a rare occasion. So I would check it out if you can. The other thing is that we're going to Monster Mania October 4th. We'll be up there on the 3rd, and we'll be coming back on the 7th. But it's October 4th, 5th, and 6th. This one is packed. It is packed. We have Matthew Lillard. We have Shannon Elizabeth. We have Skeet Ulrich. We have David Arquette. You have Rose McGowan. You have just a lot of celebrities coming out on this one, so there are still tickets available. The weekend passes are still available. Each day is still available. VIP are sold out, but you kind of should have expected that anyway. They don't last long. Even in the Baltimore area, they don't last long. So I would definitely get tickets because since there are so many stars coming that people want to see. Oh, and Jamie Kennedy too. That everybody wants to see. It's probably going to be a lot of well-distributed lines, so there's going to be probably a good opportunity for you to get to see some of the heavy hitters in horror, and especially in B-rated, especially in some mainstream. Unfortunately, Sam Raimi had to cancel, but he is going to be doing a new movie, so that's good too. Either way you look at it, it's still going to be a good thing because we're going to get another movie from Sam Raimi. Can't argue with that, right? In November, Eli Roth is going to be over at the Oak site, and it's going to be an Aliens theme. So just keep on. If you really want to go, I would get tickets as soon as possible because they're really lining up a lot of good people. Okay. So, and if you want photo ops, they're up. So besides that, you can catch me out on Twitter, Ferocious V, YouTube, Ferocious V, 78, I believe, and Gmail would be Ferocious V 78, all one thing. No hyphens, no dots, no nothing, just Ferocious V 78. And yes, as I've kind of put it in there, we are thinking about doing a zombie movie, and I actually have somebody that is willing to kind of help us and kind of guide us and kind of consult so that we can do it on a decent budget. I'm so sorry. That is my cat Foamy. He is missing me. Sorry about that. You know he's missing me, Fuzzy. So, I'm not going to promise you it's going to be in a year. I'm not going to promise you it's going to be a year and a half. But when we do it, this guy is, pretty quick. He knows what he's doing, and it's going to get made. He always makes his movie, so he's not going to consult with anybody that is not going to be making a movie. So right now, we're lining it up. Okay. So Fuzzy, what about you?
Oh, everybody can find me on the app formerly known as Twitter at Fuzzy_Belvedere. We'll also be on another podcast later on tonight called Xbox Ultimate on the Fun Speculations channel. Just do a search for Fun Speculation on YouTube and you'll be able to find the channel. Tomorrow we'll be on the Shop Podcast at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturday on PTK Blam's channel. And then on Sunday, me and 3-Bit will be doing Pixelated Echoes at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday. And then you can also find me on Double Barrel Gaming Monday afternoon at 12 for Xbox Lunch Break Special. Look forward to seeing everybody in the chat join us there as well. And man, this was a fun show. Greatly appreciate everybody that came out and watched us live. And for those that catch us on replay, if you enjoyed the content you see, please leave us a comment, give us a thumbs up, or subscribe if you haven't already. We greatly appreciate it. All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.